need a discovery phase before you do the creative development? Why can't you just put some pretty pictures together, create some logos, and away you go? Well, the thing about that is it's not based on anything factual. It's ultimately the creative's kind of personal view of how he thinks or she thinks the business should look, but there's no actual substance to it. It's kind of like a visual identity, really, and if you haven't got a lot of budget, makes sense. You can go on Fiverr or Upwork and get someone to knock you out a logo for 200 quid. You can crack on. But ultimately, in the long term, you're going to lose every time. You're going to lose, and you're going to lose big. Because the great thing about branding, and the really important thing to stress about branding, is the first part of it, the discovery and understanding of the core kind of attributes of the business, is fundamental. The visual part is almost putting the curtains on the wall and the pictures up. But the first part of it is building the foundations, it's building the walls, and it's putting the windows in. So you get a really deep understanding of the business. And that's when you create really long-term value for any business in the world. So how does that work? How does a discovery phase work? Well, ultimately, you want your sort of key stakeholders. Now, depending on the scale of the business, that could be 3 or 4 people, that could be 8 people. But ultimately, it's hosted by the agency, and it could be over half a day, it could be over a full day, depending on the size and the complexity of the business. And what happens is the stakeholders come to an office, or it's hosted virtually, depending on COVID restrictions and so on and so forth. And the agency presents a series of tasks and exercises to draw out those really key words, messages, and insights from the people that live and breathe the business day in, day out. So all of this is based on facts. It's not opinions, it's facts of the business. Ultimately, the agency will do a lot of research around audience understanding. What do the audience want from the marketplace? Because ultimately, the customer is the king. But you've got to be true to what your business stands for and what it is. And that's the key thing. So all the answers that feed into briefing a creative team come from that discovery phase. And it is absolutely imperative. In fact, if you don't do it, you just got a visual identity. You haven't got a brand. It's that fundamental important.